Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody's had a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Dragonsjewel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan, and I'm just going to get all that wonderful YouTubey stuff out of the way first. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. It's just down below there. And of course, any love, comments, suggestions, all those wonderful things, that's also down there. And don't forget to hit that like button as well. Today we are doing a good old wip&chat, and that just stands for work in progress. So I've got here a diamond painting that I'm working on. It could be any crafty project. You can pull out, you can pull out anything that you're working on that you want to kind of get a little bit more progress, that you want to finish up, whatever the case may be. You can get some household chores done, whatever you choose to do while I chat away here and catch everybody up. As we know, I've been away from the channel. I think it's more like 3 weeks since my last wip&chat because I had my vacation. I didn't make any notes, of course, because I pretty much know what happened. That kind of idea. So we are winging it. Right now I am filming this on Thursday evening. I've just finished up my dinner, and the hubby's home, and of course he's keeping an eye on the little man, and I'm trying to get this done, filmed at least, before he goes down to bed, because my craft room office is right next to his room, so I don't want to be too loud while he's trying to sleep, all that wonderful thing. So getting this video done. Yeah, and of course you will see it on Friday when it comes out on the channel. This week we have been on a heat wave, so it's been super warm. I've had our AC window unit going in our dining room, and then set up a bunch of fans to kind of get some air circulation going out there to kind of keep it cool as I can. It's been pretty warm. Today is the temperature has dropped a little bit, and it's a little bit more tolerable. Yeah, but basically this heat wave has brought us up to temperatures that we're feeling like minus 36 Celsius, as I'm in Canada, so it's been pretty toasty, not gonna lie. Haven't really gone anywhere with the little man since we got back because of it. Just kind of been trying to stay cool. But yeah, let's get started before the vacation. Not a crazy amount happened, obviously. Little man finished up school for the year, and while he was in school I took advantage of that and used up a gift certificate to go get my nails done. And I also decided to splurge and get myself a pedicure for the vacation as well. And so as you can see, these are the nails. I still have them on, but I kind of did like I'd shown her a picture of something similar, slightly different colors, of course. But yeah, so this was the result. They turned out lovely. I love the color combination, the extra sparkle. She loved it so much as well. She said that she's never had anybody come in and have nails done like that, so she did up a sample nail afterwards. When I was getting my pedicure done, I could see her working on it, so that she can show other people something similar and they can maybe get it done themselves. But yeah, I love it. It's kind of got like a little bit of a unicorny, fairy kind of aura type vibe to it. But it was kind of a fun, summery colors as well. Yeah, so I did that before we went. We left on, what day was that? Thursday that we left on? We left in the morning. We had a little bit of a layover in Winnipeg. For those of you that don't know, I just got back from vacation from Nova Scotia. But yeah, we had our little layover in Winnipeg for a while, and then we caught a second flight there into Halifax, Nova Scotia. And then, of course, my mom picked us up from the airport in her rental vehicle, as she had been out there for 2 weeks prior already with one of her girlfriends doing some hiking and stuff. And then we drove out to her cottage, which she has sold. It's no longer hers now. The possession date was, I think, the 9th, or is tomorrow, but either way, she's back now herself, and the cottage is sold. But yeah, so we stayed there one last time, kind of took advantage of it. It is, her cottage is located in a place called Austria Lake within Nova Scotia. It's very close to Musquodoboit Harbor. A very, very beautiful area, and was actually located right on the waterfront. So she actually had like a little, you had to cross the street, but she had like a little dock area that she had on the opposite side of the road that was hers, that we could also kind of spend time in, as well as all of her land. But she had this little cottage that kind of sat up on a hill, and then there was like another hill that went up, and then there was kind of she had a little play swing set out there, a little fire pit, and then a whole forest area back there. So it was kind of like a relaxation spot that you could see more of the kind of the lake coming off of the ocean in that area. So absolutely beautiful, beautiful and cozy little cottage. So we stayed there with her and the little man and the hubby, of course. And we were there for, I think it worked out to about 10 days by the time we came back. But we did lots of stuff. There was definitely lots that we did. We ended up going to 4 different beaches when we were there. One of them we only just kind of stayed a short amount of time and walked it because it was a little bit more rocky than all the others, and we were kind of nursing some sunburns from the second beach that we had visited. Or I shall say, I was nursing the sunburns. I got burnt at the second beach pretty good. Both my arms and my shins. And I had sunscreen on. That's just what happens to me. I'm pale thanks to my ancestors. And so I burned red like a lobster before getting any sort of color, and even then it's usually a lighter so-called tan than what my hubby or even my son gets. Yeah, so that's always fun. But yeah, so we did those 4 different beaches. It was really, really fun. When the first beach, my son had a little bit of his sensory stuff going on, and he didn't like the feel of the sand on his feet. So he was walking around in, I tried him in like swimming wet shoes. He didn't really like, he didn't mind that so much as the one beach we were on. It was, one part was kind of rocky and one part was sandy. So he didn't mind that one at all. And then we kind of got him rain boots the next time that we were at a beach and tried those. He preferred those over the water shoes. But we eventually there was like an area where the water from the tides had washed up, then there was like a little sandbank that was higher up, and then the cold water from the ocean. So we were kind of able to encourage him to take the rain boots off and walk in the warmer parts of the beach for a while. And then when we walked back onto the sand, and it would get kind of, his wet feet would gather the sand. He didn't like that very much. So we just kind of taught him and encouraged him to then step back in the water to wash it off if he wanted to. And eventually he warmed up to walking in the sand with bare feet. And actually it didn't bother him at all by the end of that beach trip. So that was good. Got him used to that. And then all the beaches after that, he was pretty much a pro at walking in the sand without anything on his feet. He was comfortable by then. So that was good. He absolutely loved the beach. He collected sand or seashells. We built sandcastles with him. Had some water toys that he could kind of play with. So he had lots of fun, lots of fun. Got him in the water, on the sand, all that good stuff, sitting around, just spending time with us. He absolutely clung to his nanny because he's a nanny's boy. So he was quite happy to have her everywhere they went. He did really good actually on the flight out. Like I said, we flew out and then we had a little layover and then a second airplane. He absolutely loved being on the airplane. He didn't mind it at all. In fact, he had the widest grin during takeoff and landings. So he was quite thrilled with that. And yeah, the only issue we really had with the airplane was by the end of the second one, and it didn't matter how long the airplane rides were because he did it both going there and coming home. By the last half hour, it seemed, of each of those flights, he was more than ready to get off the plane. He had had enough. And would start kind of getting a little antsy. But other than that, he did really, really well. Better than we thought. We had enough to keep him busy. Yeah, so anyways, back to our trip. We did the beaches. We went to Lunenburg and had tickets to ride the Bluenose, which is a tall ship out there that's really popular and a lot of people have probably heard of it. Or they definitely know of it if they've ever been out there, or if they're looking up trips, because it's one of the few that you can actually go out and sail on. So we had tickets for that, and it was stationed in Lunenburg, which is just a small little oceanside town. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love Lunenburg. It's probably one of my favorite spots in Nova Scotia. It's just really quaint, cute. There's lots of little shops and all the colorful little houses and buildings. And then, of course, it's got the waterfront right there down on their lower waterfront kind of area too. A lot of the restaurants kind of have houses or buildings along that lower street that have upper balconies that look out onto it, so it's a nice spot also to have some lunch, which worked out in our favor because although we just tried to pack a lunch, we forgot it back at the cottage. So we were lunchless in Lunenburg, and so we had to find a spot to eat before we boarded the Bluenose. But we did it. We got lunch in us and we made the Bluenose on time. We had a fabulous sail. My son had lots of fun. He watched all the sails go up, the ropes. He dragged my mom all over the ship when we got out and they were done doing all the sails and ropes. He dragged her all over the place. And then at one point they were sitting on the deck and just kind of cuddling together and playing around on his tablet because he needed a little bit of a calm down period. But yeah, it was nice. It was a good sale. It was a great day for it. Yeah, so we got that sale in, and then we hit Peggy's Cove, which is another place that I absolutely love in Nova Scotia. It's a just a really, really rocky area that has a lighthouse. The only thing I was disappointed with is that they had a DJ set up on one of the rocks that was by the main building where the bathrooms and the restaurant and the gift shop are, playing electronic music. Was not happy, was not impressed. It was actually very unappealing. This is a location that's supposed to be preserved by their one of their heritage societies. And so when we were in the gift shop, we were kind of asking around what's up with the DJ outside, and they all claimed to know, which is kind of hard to believe because Peggy's Cove is a very, very small community. It's funded by the government and run by their kind of their social, whatever it is, heritage society kind of group. So it's hard to believe that somebody wouldn't know what that was about. But they had said they didn't know anyways what the DJ was about. All they knew is that there was a guy who used to play the bagpipes out there. I had been out there many times when that person has been out there playing the bagpipes, and it's absolutely lovely. But apparently he was asked to stop playing there because he doesn't actually work for them. Which I can understand that perspective, but electronic DJ really doesn't match the heritage or the atmosphere of Peggy's Cove. It would make far more sense to have some sort of maritime music or something like that if they're gonna have some music out there. The DJ was super, super loud. You could barely even hear the waves coming up and hitting the rocks, which is one of my favorite things about Peggy's Cove. It's just listening to that, seeing the lighthouse, and climbing all over the big rocks. But we decided what we were gonna do, since we were there, make the best of it. We kind of went further away from the lighthouse, which was a shame, but we climbed all over the big rocks, with my son, of course, dragging my nanny around. Nor dragging my mom around, his nanny, once again. But we kind of went far away from the DJ as much as we could, and just kind of got away enough so that it was very faint in the background and we could barely hear him, and we could kind of enjoy it a little bit more. So that was a little bit better when we did that, but it was a shame because we were further away from the lighthouse. Yeah, but we got to see it, and I was happy that I got to see it despite all that. Just kind of disappointed in their choice of music. My hubby thinks it's because they're trying to discourage content creators from filming out there, because a lot of music is copyright claimed. If that's the case, though, they could still do that with something that's more appropriate to the area, local area. Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see. We kind of found the society and sent in a complaint afterwards about the type of music, how loud it was, the fact that it takes away from the atmosphere when we were there. All things that are very important to preserving of the area and the feel of the area, as they actually had a whole motto on it on their webpage too. So yeah, we voiced our concerns over that. But yeah, what else did we do while we were there? We did shopping, of course. We did the Fisherman's Wharf Cove. It's a cute, cute little place once again. Bunch of adorable little shops. One of the shops I actually bought something in was basically a shop with 10 local artists in the community, and they sell their artwork on canvases, framed pictures, postcards, bookmarks, that sort of thing. And they, because it's them running it and not another kind of business, they actually they don't charge any GST on the product. It's a straight up price. That's just something they do there. So that was kind of cool. I got a little postcard of it's kind of a steampunk style raven. I'm wondering if I have it close by, because it's absolutely gorgeous. Ah, yes, I do. Here it is. So this is the postcard. It's just of the steampunk style raven. I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I had to get it. It was only a couple bucks. Yeah, so I got that from there, and then, yeah, we did a little bit of shopping around in those shops. Then we had some kind of a lupper, not early enough for a lunch, but not late enough for a supper, at Boondocks, and had some fish and chips, which all their fish out there is daily, so it's fresh, super delicious. They do their fish and chips with haddock, which I absolutely love haddock out of all the fish types. It's one of the few that I actually eat. So yeah, we did that. We did Halifax Harbour, of course. That we did twice. One was just kind of to shop and hang out and kind of spend a last day kind of down in that area. So we did that. The other day was on Canada Day, and we actually started at Citadel Hill for that. That's the little fort at the top of the hill that was actually used in war times for the ships coming in. They would shoot their cannons. It was kind of like a battle fort that kept enemies at bay for as long as they could. So we did there. They have all the old fort still there. They have the canyons. They have a gift shop. They have movies playing, facts about the different wars that they used it for. They have some museum artifacts kind of on display. They had a military troop kind of outfit that you could try on just for the fun. So it's a really cool place to check out. But they were doing Canada Day, and they do a noon gun with the canyon there, so they did that. And then they were doing the 21 gun salute as well for Canada Day. That's something extra that they did. And then they had a Canada Day cake as well, so we stayed for all of that, enjoyed that. A really old friend of mine, my hubby's that used to live here in Edmonton, now lives out in Dartmouth, so she met us over in Halifax and joined us for all of that. And then we went for lunch afterwards on the Halifax Harbour. And then, yeah, I did just kind of some walking around the harbour, poking in shops, kind of just enjoying some time together. Went for ice cream at Cow's Creamery, which is one of my favorite ice cream places. Halifax Harbour is another kind of area that I just love hanging out in. It's changed a bit, obviously, since the last I was there. They now actually have steps going down into the harbour, and they encourage people to swim. It's different. Yeah, we did all that. That was really great to see our friend. My mom was kind enough to drive her home afterwards, and she invited us up. And I got to see Lucy, which is her little, she's like a Chihuahua mix. but she's long-haired. A super, super sweet dog. Kind of has like a little mohawky with her long hair, but yeah, I hadn't seen her since they moved out there. Super excited to see Lucy. Other than my friend, I was one of the first people that Lucy actually kind of gravitated towards and really enjoyed being around and was always happy to see. So I was super stoked to see her again. She actually remembered me after not seeing them for like 7 years. No word of a lie, it's been that long. So it was really great to catch up with her. Yeah, so I got to see my Lucy girl. She was happy to see me. I was happy to see her, I guess. So much so that my friend's neighbors actually commented on how happy Lucy was, like a day or two after our visit, or the day after our visit or whatever, so that was kind of really cute and nice to hear. We also got to meet her new dog, which is also another Chihuahua type mixed dog. He's black and shorter haired and named Argo. Still a puppy, so yeah, we got to meet him. He was super excited. Just having people around, being a puppy, you know, that excited puppy energy. Oh my god, people. Yeah, so it was a really, really nice little kind of visit. She actually lives in a condo that she owns right on the harbor, or pretty close to the harbor, so her balcony actually has a view of the harbor, her particular unit. So amazing view for her. It was really good to see her, like I said. Yeah, so we did that. The second time we went over to Halifax Harbor, we took the ferry over, which was lots of fun. We kind of tried to give a taste of Nova Scotia life, being on the coast, doing kind of some different things that my son doesn't normally get to do at home, different experiences, that sort of thing. He really enjoyed himself, I think. He had lots of fun. Our flight didn't get in until past his bedtime. What would normally be past his bedtime, but with the time shift, it also was like 2 hours before his normal bedtime back home, so he actually stayed up late when we first got there the first night, but got up at a normal time and then easily fell into kind of the East Coast time difference. Coming back home, we got in late again. I think we got home about 10 from our flight home, and he pretty much went straight to bed and crashed, and woke up at his no, he slept in a little bit, not a ton, but slept in about an hour later than he normally does, and then kind of fell back into going bed at his normal time and getting up at his normal time. So time change, which is normally 3 hours later there to us, hardly fazed him at all, which is good. I'm glad he transitioned easily with that. That was one thing I wasn't sure if it would really mess up his sleep or not. I'm so glad it hasn't. But yeah, he had lots of fun. Lots of fun. He got tons of souvenirs. My mom actually bought him a little wallet at a garage sale and gave him some change to put in there so that he could kind of hand it over and buy his own stuff, which he absolutely loved and wanted to spend right away, so much so that he had it pulled out when we went to pick up our tickets for the Blue Nose and was trying to pay for that. The, of course, ladies behind the till just thought it was absolutely adorable. Yeah, so that was fun, and a couple of things that he did manage to kind of pay for himself. he got a stuffed cow from Cow's Creamery. Yes, it was more than he had in his wallet, but we don't tell him that Nanny paid the little extra for him. And then his wallet miraculously refilled with some more change when we were there. So he got like a little squirt gun with some bubble gum in it, and he got a shark keychain, a stuffy shark keychain, and a little slinky dog, just a bunch of like little toys that he decided he liked. The really fun thing about that was Fisherman's Wharf is where he got the shark keychain, and he, of course, Mom helped him get enough change out of the wallet, and he handed it over to the cashier, and it was, I think, something like $8 or something like that for it. But because he was paying, they kind of had an unspoken rule, I guess, at the store. So they just said he could pay with whatever he had, which I think ended up only being like $3 or $4. So he got a bit of a deal on that. And then when we were in Halifax, doing kind of in around the harbor area, that's where he got the slinky dog. And the store that he pulled out and paid for that in said that it was just the cost of the toy. There was no additional GST or HST for it. We were kind of surprised by that, and she said that's a store policy that they're allowed to do when the kids actually hand them the money and pay for it themselves. It's just kind of something a little special and extra that they do. So that was kind of cool. So that's what makes me think the first store where they said just pay whatever he has kind of had something similar going on. Yeah, so kind of fun for him. He had fun with that, of course. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I think that's kind of, that was about our trip. We did the ferry, the Blue Nose, Halifax Harbor, Citadel, Peggy's Cove, Lunenburg. We did 4 different beaches in like different areas of Nova Scotia, so yeah. And then I met my mom's neighbors on the one side with their little girl, so that was kind of neat. Yeah, and then the hubby and my mom went out on the kayak one morning. I didn't go because none of the life jackets fitted me, and I would have had to go and buy one, which I didn't want to do. So I let them go, which was good because my mom really enjoyed that. She said she was glad she got to go out in the kayaks one last time because she ended up selling them while we were out there as well. But was able to keep them for the majority of our trip to use one last time kind of thing. An agreement that she had made with the buyer. Yeah, so that was our Nova Scotia trip. It was nice. It was a mix of kind of sightseeing and sharing some of my favorite places with my son. Just being out there again, enjoying some downtime, some beach time, spending time at the cottage and just enjoying the cottage before it sold. Yeah, and then we helped my mom bring back a bunch of stuff from the cottage that she wanted to keep. We kind of filled up the extra space in her suitcases, and she paid for some extra luggage, which was oversized luggage, which was like 2 boxes full of stuff that she had sent back with us, which ended up being cheaper than if she would have sent through Canada Post because of the weight. Yeah, so I think that is about it, really. Since we've gotten back, like I said, we've been in this heat wave. Haven't really been doing much, just kind of staying in the house with the AC unit going and circling the air with some fans. Just trying to stay cool. It's a little bit cooler today, but it's still plus 29 degrees Celsius out, so it's still fairly warm. Over the weekend, I think like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're in around the mid to high 20s. Once again in Celsius, and then it looks like for Thursday, Friday, it goes back up into kind of the mid-30s again. So it looks like the heat is kind of here to stay for a bit. Yeah, so we'll see. This is my first time actually getting around to working on this canvas since I've gotten back to, because my son's off school. So this is going to be a slower moving project now that he's off school. I might have to pull out some of my smaller stuff to work on at the dining room table that I can finish quickly and easily since he's home and he wants all the attention. But yeah, so far I've arranged to kind of do some things with my mom now that she's back. With the little man, we've got a couple of passes at the it's an indoor playground called Rock the Spectrum, and it's designed specifically for kids who are on the spectrum or have sensory issues or overstimulation issues. And my son absolutely loves going to this gym. We have a pass, but we still have a couple more sessions that are going to run out come the fall, so we decided we're going to use them up. We've kind of scheduled certain days for these that we're going to take them there. But yeah, they have, it's like an indoor playground, so they've got a zip line, they've got swings that the kids can sit on, then they've got a couple of like grocery store set up, kind of a baby playing area, book reading area, some trains, all sorts of things. And then they have off to the side what they call a quiet room. So that's where you can go in, you can close the door, you can shut off the lights, you can put on some red or blue lights or like that kind of soft LEDs type lights, and it allows your child to just kind of calm down a bit, regroup themselves, settle and kind of come back from being overstimulated or overwhelmed or whatever. So it's a really, really good place to be. They're great there. Yeah, so we're gonna do some of that to keep him busy this summer. He loved the beach so much. It's not as easy, unfortunately, to get to the beach as it was in the East Coast. So yeah, we're gonna still try to do a bit of that. We've kind of tentatively set two options, two dates, and we've kind of left it open pending weather, obviously. But yeah, so we've kind of started setting up some stuff like that, and then of course my parents usually take him for a once a week overnighter, and then my aunt comes one day of the week and just kind of plays with him and hangs out with him. So yeah, those will probably be the majority of the time that I get to work on this, but I'll slowly get there. It'll just go at a little bit of a slower pace than it was before. Obviously weekends when the hubby's home, I can maybe snag some time, or at least in the evenings because we stay up later and I don't have to get up as early, that kind of thing, then I'll get a chance to kind of work on it. Yeah, so we'll get there, but yeah. Other than that, the channel's going to be back up and running, back into the swing of things as much as I can. Thankfully, I do have a bunch of stuff that's been filmed and sitting in my folder, so that'll make it easier to get kind of everyday videos out. It'll just be some strategic filming times for these wip&chats and for the Ghostly Echo series over the summer. But we'll figure it out. We'll manage it. I'll, of course, if for some reason I can't get to it, just keep an eye on that community tab. I'll let you know over there. Things get kind of dicey with time and getting videos out. I try to do that. I try to avoid it, but sometimes life happens and it happens. But you'll know what to expect. I usually still try to get a video out at the very least so that you have something to watch and something goes up on the channel when that happens too. yeah, I think really that's about it for the channel. Once again, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, I have that linked up down below. We would be happy to have you over there. It's for Dragonsjewel Creative Gems community, so it's everybody who's subscribed to this channel, and it's just the social interactive side of sharing your whips with everybody. Tips, tricks, diamond painting stuff, crafty stuff, that sort of thing, and just kind of a place that we can all interact, get to know each other. I can get to know you guys a little bit better as well as my subscribers, and then hopefully when the group gets large enough, I can start looking at maybe running some events or kind of fun things through that page as well. So definitely don't hesitate to join that. And then yeah, all that good stuff. Also, there is, if you want to send Happy Meal, I have an Amazon link that I always have linked up. And I have a P.O. box now as well. And the P.O. box is for parcels and bubble mailers. So lots of great ways to help support the channel. Some are free, some are monetary. Never feel obligated to do the monetary side of things, but it does help towards the cost of the channel, because right now I'm fully running it out of my own pocket. Yeah, it's well, diamond painting's not cheap, but yeah, I definitely it would help get things happening quicker, updates of equipment, that sort of thing that's ever needed. It allows me to kind of venture out and shop some of those small shops easier, little things like that. But yeah, like I said, don't feel obligated. I'm just mentioning it because the P.O. box is a fairly new thing as well. Definitely any suggestions, all that wonderful things, let me know. I'm always open to them. Any video ideas, that kind of good stuff. I'm always taking note. Okay, I'm going to leave that here. I don't think there's much else that I can think of that I am missing. So, of course, I will see everybody in the next video with something new. Bye.